Okay, so I'll review two books in this video. The reviews, well, they're not really reviews, are they? They're just literally my ideas on the books, because apparently I feel it's necessary for me to tell everybody these ideas, so you get to hear them. Yay! So they're both about a man who is lonely, and he thinks that no one is like him, and then suddenly he comes across this woman who he thinks will understand him. But it's slightly different. But they both end up killing this woman. Well, Harry Haller doesn't necessarily kill her. It's just in his weird dream world he does kill her, because that's what she requested of him. But I think it's not so much to do with killing a different person as killing maybe a part of themselves, the part of themselves that wants to communicate with the outside world. Both of these guys are very introverted, and at least in the tunnel, Castell, he interprets things his own way. He doesn't necessarily use objective data. He's fallible. I mean, you don't know if he was wrong or not, because you only get his side. But I understand his mental process in that he sees something subtle, and then he connects all these little subtle things that, could be anything, if you wanted to see it like that. And then he creates his own idea of things, which he doesn't know. Well, he doesn't know if it's true or not, because he never gets confirmation from the mouth of the woman herself. He thinks they're vague, but that could just be him. And it's basically to do with cutting off all contact. At the start, at the very start, in the exhibition, I don't think he is trying to communicate with anyone. He doesn't want to be understood. He just wants to be sure that no one understands him, and I think he kind of revels in that, despite his desperate attempt to get Maria to love him, or to get Maria to only have sex with him, no one else. And I think he was pretty much destined to kill her, as soon as he saw her. It was never going to work out. I mean, subconsciously, basically, the decision was already made, and there's no way out of it. Like, he's basically trapped in his own head. That's how I would describe it, and he does describe it well, at least, not him, the author, but he does describe it as being in a tunnel with maybe a few windows, and she peers in occasionally. But what he misses is that she's not someone else to him, To him, she's him. And any sign he sees that means that she's not him, part of him, is extremely unwelcome. And he rails against, vanity. He hates seeing it in people, but, he's the embodiment of it. he interprets things his own way. I mean, not necessarily vanity, but just being self-centered in the most destructive way possible. And I think, you know, Allende, is that the right way to pronounce his name? I don't know. I did Spanish ages ago. Well, I don't think he's the only blind man in the story. I think he's there, so you draw the comparison. You know, deceiving a blind man, and, you know, the blind man's deceiving himself. So, yeah, I'll talk about Steppenwolf a bit. You know, that's similar in that, oh, what's the saxophonist called? Is it like Pablo or something? Anyway, he's trying to get him to see the world in a more humorous manner, and, well, he failed, basically. He failed the test, which was to not kill Hermina? I don't really know. But yeah, he killed the only person he connected with, because she was different to him. She was the opposite, basically. She enjoyed sensual pleasures, whereas he was more into the kind of intellectual thing. And it wasn't really a pleasure, was it? His life. Yeah. And in the end, well, not in the end, but, you know, at the start, apparently in the end, he just went off, unexpectedly, unannounced, to somewhere, and I think he probably went to just be alone. He had decided that that was his fate, and that's just the end of it, really. I don't think he did kill himself, much like the other resident. So yeah, they're very similar stories, and I enjoyed the tunnel more. It must have been better in the original language, but as it is, I really enjoyed the way it was written. I mean, I don't know if enjoyed the right word, but I kind of felt and thought what Castell was feeling, and worryingly, I related to him a bit. Related to Haller less, but I definitely saw I saw what I was kind of thinking at the time in that book. And yeah, one reason I didn't like Steppenwolf as much as the tunnel is that I felt like I already knew what it was trying to tell me, but I suppose that's not important for anyone else. But yeah, I would definitely recommend them. Recommend it's a review now, if you were interested, especially the tunnel. It's really good. Amazing, yeah. So, see ya.